Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. We're down here on the boat straight after it's just finished. West Ham United 3. West Ham United 0. Southampton 3. Let's take a trip. We don't normally do this, but how are you feeling right now?
I came down there with a load of hope, and we started really upbeat today, and I just feel deflated. I was ready to put the Watfords and all the other games sort of behind us and sort of come with a bit of hope today. And I just feel deflated is the word. I haven't got the energy to be angry, if you know what I mean.
I've gone beyond angry. I was angry after the Watford game, but today I'm just... I'm not just shocked, I'm just confused as to what's happening. I'm upset. I'm actually upset as to what I've just seen today. It's not just necessarily we've got beat, it's a manner, but let's talk about that. The lineup, were you happy with the lineup?
With the exception of Zaza, I think I more or less was. But we were watching a game, and people watch our vlog, and you said to me something halfway through the game, which won't be caught on the vlog. And you said to me, why play two players out of position? So we had Arbeloa, who is a right back, on the left, and then on at right back we had Nordveit, who is possibly a defensive midfielder, call him what you want. But by doing that, you put two players out of position, which was your point. It was a great point. Surely better to put Arbeloa on the right and then put someone else, shoehorn him on the left at left back in place of Masuaku. And then you only have one player playing out of position. We had two, so that was obviously a problem, as you thought.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the first goal. I mean, until the first goal, the 40th minute or whatever, it was very boring. While you said we started brightly, the other team had a shot on target.
No, they didn't, and boring was right, because again, I'll keep referring back to the video, because whilst we're watching the game, we're trying to record a video at the same time to give the fans, particularly the fans that can't get to the game, some sort of idea of what's happening. And it was really boring. I was struggling for footage. I was struggling for something to get excited about, so the crowd are really... Well, we didn't have anything to cheer about. And I would say at the point where Southampton scored their first goal, you wouldn't say any team had the upper hand at that point. It was just a boring sort of dour game, really.
No, I mean, both teams were passing about nicely for 40 minutes without creating any chances. And then Southampton, bam, pass, goal. Bertrand does a simple 1-2. Antonio doesn't trap Bertrand for whatever reason. Southampton, who are well known for attacking fullbacks, but don't track the fullback. He gets in behind Nordveit, who makes a half-arsed attempt to chase it. Bertrand's there, loads of time, loads of space, looks up, picks out Charlie Austin, Southampton's lone striker against two centre-backs, who then just places it into the back of the net. Now, we all knew Austin was going to score, but why are we just letting these happen? We almost rolled over and let them take the lead.
Well, it was schoolboy. I was shouting schoolboy into the camera, wasn't I, as the goal went in. And of course Austin was going to score because of all Sullivan's comments. I'm not saying Sullivan was responsible for Austin scoring, but it was sod's law, wasn't it, really, that Austin was going to score. Bear in mind the all the comments that had been finished because of his knees and whatnot. But it was schoolboy defending, and it was quite reminiscent of the last game. Nobody seemed to know what position to take up or where to stand or where to go. And up until that point, I actually thought that Bilic had sorted out the defence, but at the expense of the forward line. We weren't attacking much, but it did seem like the defence was solid up to that point.
We'll talk about individual performances, etc. in a second, but their second goal was even more schoolboy defending. He just walks through the centre of our defence. It was almost like they just let him just walk right through, round our goalie. Simple. I mean, it was like a joke.
Yeah, it was Tadic, the second one, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, it is absolutely... And they're looking round afterwards, after the goal has been scored, and the players are looking round like this, as if to say, it was you. Why weren't you stood there? Who are you picking up? There's almost a blame culture developing. Nobody knows where they should be. I did wonder, somebody put a theory out on the forum a little while ago, saying, did we were the team last season piggybacking off the back of Sam Allardyce's organisation? Now, I took that with a pinch of salt because Allardyce's teams did ship goals. Let's be honest with you, he wasn't someone that was keeping clean sheets all the time. But I do wonder, the further we get away from that, are we lacking a sort of cohesive organisation whereby just positionally people know where to stand, where to be at any given time? What are we working on in training? I don't know.
Then the third goal, but before the third goal, we had one effort that got kind of scrambled off. We had a couple of penalty shouts for sort of at the other end of the pitch from where we can see. We didn't get any replays, so we can't really comment too much on them. But even before the third went in, I think it's important to point out the crowd were firmly behind that team today. Even at 2-0 down, the crowd were on their feet and the crowd were rolling that team on.
Well, I got it all on camera, as I was actually at the time filming the Southampton fans, who were in full voice, as you would expect, at 2-0 up. And I think they were singing something derogatory, like you should have stayed at the bowling or something like that. And as they were doing that, then they basically walked the goal and said, but it could have happened at any point. They kept on releasing Redmond on a counter-attack, and Redmond would they released him on the left, and I counted 4 or 5 other opportunities where they could well have scored on a break. It was 3-0 today. That could have been worse.
I think it could have been about 5 or 6. I don't think they were even trying that much going forward. I think they were all lining up to take a shot. But let's talk about more in-depth stuff. You were saying no one after Zaza, but he's not number 9. He's a number 10. I don't think Zaza is an out-and-out striker. I think he likes to play on the shoulder of a striker. He's almost a bit like what Wayne Rooney used to be when he was good. He likes to play the second striker, almost a Dennis Bergkamp type role. When he comes off the strike, he's not their striker. So I don't know why they've got a square peg for a round hole, but it's what they've done all over the team a little bit. They've done it, and I feel sorry for Bilic, but at the same time, it's Bilic that picks that team, and he's picked the same players that have let him down continuously so far this season. We're now 5 defeats out of 6. It's really early. I know people say it's only 6 games, but it's a 6th of the season. Are you worried about relegation at all, or?
Well, this is why I say give it 2 more games, and actually it's 8 out of 38. That's almost a quarter. If you don't panic after a quarter of the season's gone and you're in the bottom 3, then I don't know when you start to, because we had all this before with Avram Grant and the board didn't act too quickly. I don't expect them to make the same mistake again. Bilic should be savvy enough. He's a central defender. He should be savvy enough to sort that out now. Get a system, get a shape, sort it out. Today, you mentioned the midfield. The midfield was dysfunctional. He needs to sort it out. He needs to sort something out, and he needs to sort it out quick. My issue, and has always been the same, look back on all the other previous stuff. I've been very, very consistent on this. Everyone else, look at them, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Everton. I know they lost to Bournemouth, but a lot of teams have improved their first team. Everyone went for improving their first team this season. We didn't improve our first team. We decided to go for squad bulk. Our first team, if anyone wants to argue with me, leave your comments below. I don't care. You cannot argue with me that our first team has improved on last season. Our first team is worse than last season. Most other teams' first teams have got better this season. Obviously, what's that saying you say to me? Say it or saying?
If you ain't going forward, you're going backwards. There's no such thing as standing still.
And that's what's happened to us, Gio.
I mean, what I will argue about the transfers is, how do we know the players we bought can't improve the first team? Because Bilic isn't playing them. He's not playing them. He plays Nordveit, again, out of position. Well, why is he not playing him in his actual position, which is just behind? He is someone that guards the back 4. Today we need someone to guard the back 4. So he puts Nordveit right back and puts Noble, who's not been playing that kind of position for last year. He puts Noble in there. Sorry, Bilic, get some bollocks, drop the captain and play someone that actually fits the role, whether it's Obiang or Nordveit. Take your pick, but you play one of them in the actual position. Stop trying to put square pegs in round holes. It's not working. Middlesbrough right now are licking their lips. Middlesbrough right now are thinking, this is 3 points. We're going to go there. You know, Bilic today solved the centre midfield. Southampton couldn't come through the centre, so they went out wide, and our 2 attacking midfielders didn't bother their arse tracking back. We all know what happens. We don't want to see Payet tracking back, but we need someone to go out and help the left back. It didn't happen. And their first goal came from the left back coming forward, but I'm starting to get wound up doing this, actually. This is actually annoying me doing this.
Listen, let's wrap it up then. There's nothing else left to say. You go back to work for the week. I go back to work for the week. I come in from Berkshire here next week, next Saturday for the Middlesbrough game. You're going to go back to Scotland, come back from Scotland. Let's hope for better. They got a week to work on it on the training ground. We need better. Before
we go, tough last question. Who would you drop out of this 11? What changes would you make? We'll do our preview from Middlesbrough during the week. Check that out on our channel. But who would you be thinking right now needs dropped?
Right back. Oxford needs to come in, or Oxford is going to leave. It's as simple as that. You'd have to be a blind man to see that that's not coming. We need to sort out the central midfield. Whether, as your suggestion, that Nordveit comes in or Obiang comes in, central midfield needs sorting. We need transition. The defence is tightened. Transition from the defence to the attack. Central midfield needs sorting, Slav.
And we're going to tell Slav, well, in our opinion, we're going to recommend to Slav how to sort that in our preview.
He watches all these shows.
Well, he clearly doesn't, or he'd get his finger out his arse and get something sorted with that team. But make sure you subscribe to our channel at Hammers Chat. We're actually sponsored by Royal London Watches now. You might have seen it on our social media. Do check them out. The link's below. They do West Ham watches. We'll tell you more in the preview for the Middlesbrough game. Thank you for joining us. We've been Hammers Chat.